This is Pep Talks.
I just remember thinking to myself, I love that Queen Latifah is a lesbian in this movie.
A weekly interactive show where I cover hot topics and issues of the day.
I might have heard it and I just wasn't listening, I guess. I didn't think it affected me.
This season, I'm watching legendary classic black movies with some of my favorite and closest celebrity friends. And then we're going to discuss them live with all of you. So get ready, throw on your favorite PJs, and let's dish on these movies. Ooh. Okay. Can we go back to the script? Sorry. Hey everyone, my name is Peppermint and my pronouns are she, her, hers. And you are watching Pep Talks, the interactive weekly interview show that covers hot topics and issues of the day. And that gives commentary and review on very notable black cinema that you may have missed throughout your life. But don't worry, I'm here to help you. I am so excited for today's show. Each week, we invite you to throw on your PJs, put on your mud mask, get comfy with me and my celebrity guest. And we take and dish our takes on everything happening, movies, drama, our favorite trends, our favorite products, our favorite jewelry. And this is basically a celebration of everything that I love. Black movies, cinema, makeup, and fabulousness. Today's guest and movie are Remember the Titans and The Fabulous Miss Monet Exchange. But before we get into it, I have to say, okay, the secret's out right now. I'm sitting in Vancouver working on a project. And the thing that I'm doing a lot of, to go, take out, delivery, because I ain't trying to cook ever a day. And honey, in Vancouver, I don't know, okay. I understand the planet is under siege, and I understand that there's climate change is a thing, and we have to be responsible. But when I order some food, especially if I'm paying $20 to $30 or $40 for the delivery, okay, not $5, put a fork and a napkin in the bag. I'm sick of getting these food deliveries that have literally, they're like, oh, you just want a sandwich? And it's just a sandwich in the bag. And no napkin, barely even wrapped. No salt, no condiments, no nothing. Like, where am I supposed to get that stuff from? I'm to go. Anyway, it just really irritates me, probably more than it should. But I don't have all that stuff in my house. I'm in a hotel room. You're supposed to give me everything I need to eat your stuff right there and then. And that really gets on my nerves. So you understand my surprise and dismay when I got my Egg McMuffin delivered this morning with nary a napkin in the bag. But that's okay because I swallowed it whole and I'm ready to introduce my guest. I call her my niece because that's the bond that I feel. And she is the winner of All Stars 4. And she is just about to make herstory on not the Great White Way, which should totally be changed anyway. But in West End, in Death Drop, co-starring with Courtney Act, which opens this winter. Make sure you go ahead and get your tickets in advance, honey, so they know that it is going to be a hit before it opens. Honey, bring your mask. And she's also the host of The Exchange Rate every single Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. My fabulous guest. Please make sure. Oh wait, and you can check that out on her YouTube channel, Monet Exchange. Please welcome my illustrious guest, the one, the only Miss Monet Exchange. Hey girl.
Hey, illustrious. I've only heard people say that about me at bathhouses. The illustrious Monet is here. I'm about to show y'all illustrious, honey.
How you doing, girl?
I'm good, Pep. I'm very, very, very good. The temperature is changing here in New York City, and I'm not mad about it. I like me a nice high 50s, low 60s. That's my gig. I can sleep with the window open, but I still keep the fan on because I like the white noise. But but it's the coolosity of the combination of the window and the fan making the perfect convection of cooling in my bed. I love
convection, girl.
Convection cooling. It's gonna take over the world by storm.
Okay, so wait, listen. I want to jump right in. I heard the news. I had a little bit of inside scoop, but I was so excited when they finally announced that you and Courtney Act were going to be starring in Death Trap on London's West End, opening December
Third.
9th, December 3rd. And I mean, I couldn't be more happy. Congratulations. This is
Thank
epic.
you. Thank
I
you.
mean, it looks like the West End is really on it. Like for some reason, Broadway hasn't really come. You know, I just feel like the West End is just more like realistic with the stuff that they're like, hey, let's do it. You know, they're just more open than I think some
Yeah.
Broadway stuff. I know there's a big comparison a lot of times between Broadway and West End because they're the highest like theatrical professional theater in
Yeah.
those countries. But you know, this you joining like a small list of Drag Race queens who've been on the West End, which is fabulous. Bianca was last on West End.
Yeah.
Vinegar Strokes was on the West
Yeah.
End.
Michelle
And I think
Visage,
that
she was right.
Michelle Visage, she's a queen as Queen of Queens. And so I just think it's amazing that y'all are getting this opportunity, especially Death Trap. What is it? It's a murder mystery, right? I think.
Yeah,
right?
it's a murder mystery play that that happens at it's think of like Knives Out or like Clue, but drag it up and make it really fierce and campy. Then that's what Dead Drop is. I'm super excited. It's a great cast. Vinegar Strokes is actually on cast for that.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great plan to get the chance to do a show on the West End. I am so excited, and I just I literally every time I talk about it, I just smile and I get really happy because this is a dream and I'm happy. Well, the tea is we're supposed to do it back in April, so it's gonna run April through June. But you know, COVID, everything happened, so everything had to move around. But yeah, I'm beyond excited to do this role. And the West End, they're doing all the precautions. They're like doing the proper ventilating things, and it's going to be a socially distant audience, and it's actually going to be staged a bit socially distant as well. But yeah, it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited.
That's fantastic. Now, will you be wearing masks during the show?
No, we won't be wearing masks, but we will be getting COVID testing and to make sure that we're all good. And and you know, there'll be temperature scans when the audience comes in with their tickets and all that, and all of the precautions are being made to make sure that everyone is staying as safe as possible. And but still having a good time because at this point, girl, we've been locked up March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. That's going on 10 months of not being able to go to theater, going to see stage plays, going to see like we're the world, not just the nation, the world is thirsty for some art and for some live entertainment, and I think that's what we're gonna get.
Listen, I have a question about that. The really burning question about that. But before we do, if you're watching on Twitch or YouTube right now, or even Facebook, please check for the link in our description of my Twitch profile to leave me a tip or support the production of the show. It's super important and it's super appreciated. Okay, the question of the day.
Burning question. Who's after Peppermint?
Besides that, which maybe we will never know. But look, Peppermint's after Peppermint, according to the Drag Race fandom. I'm supposed to be the next one to go to, according to them, I'm the next one who's supposed to be competing for a crown. So the season 9 has 4 crowns.
I know. Y'all be the most royal season in Drag Race history, girl.
I know. It already is of the regular seasons because we have 3, and I don't think we're the only ones that have 3. But
and season 10 is probably the last because we know Asia ain't getting nothing, and Cameron ain't gonna get nothing. Eureka ain't getting nothing either. So season 10 is out the running.
Oh, girl, don't. Mike, okay, here's a serious question.
Okay.
Do you prefer British or American? Go.
Wait, literally, the camera cut off on literally. I heard, do you prefer Brit? And that's all I heard. One more time.
Oh, a likely story. Do you prefer British or American trade?
Oh, British trade. Down.
Why?
Down. Because the British trade, because it's in Europe, they have in the penile gland area, there is more circumference of things to work with. So I definitely appreciate that more. And you know, I like, you know, you like a nice member that you can that can keep you warm at night. Something you can like stuff your hands in when you get cold. Like
You can snuggle around too.
You know, you can snuggle around. I like that. And also, I love accents. I love accents. I used to go wild for Australia, but the British one is just classic. It's fierce. And yeah, I definitely prefer a little British trade.
Okay, give me, how are you going to catch that British trade? Give me your British accent now.
Well, I need something to say, Peppermint. So I'll be living in London for about 3 months, and I just know that in my life, like I just know that my husband is going to be British, and it's yeah, I'm going to be doing it on the West.
It was good. It started to veer into, okay, give me Australian. Let me hear Australian.
Girl, the only thing I can say in Australia is this. No.
Nye.
Kiss and Kim.
Girl, well, you're going to, I mean, honey, as much time as you have with them British trade, you're going to come back speaking the whole Queen's English, darling. Okay, I have a question. If you could get rid of okay, let me preface this. Oh, I keep doing this. Anyway. Let me preface this with, I did an interview recently that was asking me about Drag Race, and I still have not been able to hide my disdain and anger and utter disgust for what they did to us on season 9 by forcing us to brutalize each other and do the cheerleading challenge. I knew when we did that cheerleading challenge, I said, they are never going to do this again. Because, girl, it took a week. It took a week. And people were getting hurt. Charlie cracked her ribs. Trinity, Cynthia sprained our ankle.
So all of the older queens.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But I knew that they would never do a challenge like that. Girl, it was like real brutal.
It looked intense. It was intense. Happy that I did not. Well, you know, I think we talked about this before. So I was first alternate if one of y'all New York girls couldn't do it. So if you or who else was from New York, I don't even know.
Me, Sasha, Alexis, and Aja.
Yeah, if one of y'all did something a week before, I'd have got the call like, "Well, they get your shit together," and I would have been even more of a mess because I'd have been a year even before season 10, and I was already messing season 10. So everything happens in its time. Amen.
Girl. Okay, so if there's a challenge that you could get rid of, whether it's on one of your seasons or another season, if there was one challenge that you could say, this is bunk, get rid of it, I never want to see this again, which challenge would it be from Drag Race?
You know, I think that on All Stars 4, the one where we made over the room, the clubs, like that went well our season. But we saw they tried to do it again in All Stars 5, and it didn't. It wasn't fun. It wasn't funny. It was too long, and I think that the viewers as a whole were like, don't do this challenge again. So it'll have to be that makeover a space thing, because honestly, that was the one of the most intense ones from our season. We had to come up with this concept for the room, make this whole storyline for the room, then go to like a Universal like prop house and like go walk through this like 4-story like a place basically the size of like a mall to look through all these items that we could use. Then we had to then we had to paint the rooms ourselves, which we started painting and then they finished the painting, but everything else, like putting the stuff in the room, like it was a very intense
I don't think they did that for season 5.
Yeah, huh?
I mean, I don't think they did that for All Stars 5. I don't think they did that. I don't think the girls had to. Did the girls have to go to the warehouse?
Oh, I don't know if they had to go to the warehouse, but we did. It was too much.
I think they had y'all working harder.
Oh, that was too much. I was like, this is exhausting.
But it showed.
And then I'm with fucking Monique, who I love Monique, but Monique is, yeah. Okay, stunning. I was like, Monique, I need us to rein it in, girl. And Monique, which bless her because she's so creative and she has so many amazing ideas. But I get overwhelmed easily, and we have so much to do. I was like, Monique, I literally am gonna go insane. We had to get. It was too much.
Here's the challenge. Do Monique doing a British accent. Go.
Well, you know, studying governor on a I don't know.
Okay, wait. If you are just joining us, welcome to Pep Talks Black Movie Classics. Make sure you go over to my Patreon and where you can see the after or the pre-show where we talked about eyelash applicators, Cardi B and Candace Owens, Blexit and Walk Away, stoning jewelry and clothing, wigs and Manila's very inappropriate but quite so crazy joke to Valentina on All Stars 4. Okay.
If you're lucky and if you look closely, you will see a little tiny bit of saliva come from my beautiful lips and it's gonna hit my shirt right here, I think.
Yeah, it's basically my Patreon, but Monet's OnlyFans. Monet drooling. That you could do that ASMR, like, you know, that'd be hot. Go back down. I didn't see that. Go back up. Sorry.
ASMR drooling. That doesn't even sound sexy.
No, it doesn't sound sexy. But nevertheless, it's all on my Patreon. And so head over to the Patreon if you'd like to see us talk about those things. All right. Now, we got some questions from viewers, and I'm so excited that we have our first question for Pep Talks Black Movie Classics. Here we go. Okay. So, Monet, I want you to get in, okay?
Okay.
Is it a fact that, okay, it already sounds serious. Is it a fact? Oh, no, it's not. That's not a question. It is a fact that POC have at times been paid less than their Caucasian counterparts in the movie biz. Okay, yes, that's true. Although a lot of improvements are still needed, I feel progress has been made in the right directions towards pay equality and representation as a whole. True. But with that being said, if multiple POC have signed on to the same project, do you think it's appropriate for one POC to ask another POC what they are being paid? I would argue that one of the reasons why POC, that obviously people of color, in case you haven't been in 2020, why people of color keep getting shafted is because nobody wants to publicly talk about money. So a studio can pay someone less because most of the time that actor doesn't even know that they are in fact being paid less. They just assume that they're being paid the same amount or the correct amount, or everybody is just so thankful for the job that they don't want to ruffle any feathers. People get real awkward when it comes to other people knowing what they are making. But I feel the only way for progress to continue on the right path for equal pay when it comes to people of color in the movie business, this is a serious question, is for those awkward conversations about money to be had out and open. So let's say you and Monet both get cast in the same movie with roles that hold about the same weight in film, okay? Would you be offended or feel a certain type of way if she came to you and asked what your check looks like? Are there certain situations that could justify the pay difference, such as one actor having a bigger body of work than the other actor?
Yeah. You know, I think that's a really nuanced thing. Because also that kind of like when you talk about showbiz and like performing and acting, whatever, it also comes down to what you're negotiating, like what your lawyer or your management is like negotiating for you. So if you have like Squiggly Bubble Pants, who was also on Drag Race, and her management just agreed, oh, the girl, they want to give you $1,000. Oh, that's great, I'll do it. But then Peppermint comes in, or I come in, our management is like, so the contract is $10,000 for just the signing, and then after we do another role, then we want another $10,000 guarantee. You know what I mean? So you know, so that's like really nuanced. But I know when I've done like gigs, like college thing or whatever, like you know, you pretty much know that you're doing the same amount of work, and you're getting paid for that thing equally. You know, but acting and singing and performing, it's like a little more nuanced.
It's a little bit different. You know, look, I mean, in order to Nelson, in order to sort of revolutionize the pay, I can agree that the sort of transparency when it comes to finances ends up making things a lot more fair and along the way, or equal along the way. But when it comes to money, in a capitalist, the thing is, we'd have to change capitalism. In a capitalist society, there's the notion that there is a notion, however right or wrong, that the more you work, the more you earn. And that same logic is applied to people's history of work. If you just graduated from school and have never had a job, but you're going to go out as a project manager, should you get paid the same amount as somebody who's been doing project managing for 50 years and has a lot of successes? And a lot of times, in a capitalist society, the notion of getting a raise, getting a bonus, that is a reward for good work, hopefully, or it's just shadiness and corruption. But it's usually a reward for hard work or work that's well done. And so in the world of film and television, it's a little bit more difficult to measure those things, other than the successes of the projects that you've been on. If you brought a lot of money to a previous project, if you brought a lot of eyeballs, and so the reason why sometimes people are casting you or putting you in a project is because of the draw that you have. I mean, film and television, it's a business, and it's really all about making more money and getting more people to watch it or do it. And so putting somebody, there's a lot of times where you where I guess casting directors and people who are producing projects have to choose between, do I put somebody who's just like super talented but they've never done anything, or someone who's like super famous and they may not have had as much experience in this. And so they have to, that's called stunt casting, where they'll put in like, Dancing with the Stars is like a big stunt cast. Like they put in people who may or may not be dancers, but they're celebrities. And so you get to see them and you're just tuning in because they're celebrities. And you want to see them try to do it. That's kind of stunt casting, which happens in theater and all the time. But then there's other things like, people thought my role on Broadway was stunt casting, but I have a degree in musical theater performance. And so
you don't realize Pepp has been doing music theater for a long time. Like you are that bitch. Like you are classically and vehemently trained. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's and so those are some of the reasons. Now we do have something in this industry called favored nations, where everyone agrees to the same amount and the same terms. And so that is something. There are a lot of projects that are favored nations, and that really has to go. That's driven by the producers of the project a lot of times. But we haven't reached that point yet, and I'm not sure if just one of the other queens, Monet, just knocking on my hotel room door. I mean, we do that anyway. We text each other all the time, be like, girl, these people called me. Did they offer you this? Because they offered me that. We do that on the inside. But in terms of advertising what everybody makes to each other, whether you know them or not, that can be used in this way, the way that we do business now. If the talent, the people who are like lower on the decision-making process, because the talent are sometimes looked at as stars, but the producers are at the top. They're the ones who make the decisions. So the talent, the people on the bottom of the totem pole are like talking about the money. It really just creates resentment because the producers are the ones who have to be more open. It has to go from the top down. That was a very long question, but I hope that we answered the question for you. Now it's time to jump into the reason why we are here. Now, I have been 2020 made me think back to my childhood and all my path through life. I am a movie buff, and I've seen almost every movie. But I've had conversations with my friends, my non-Black friends, about really good.
All three of them.
Really good films, Black films starring Black people. Some of them were produced, written, just like films that center around Black stories, Black lives, Black people. And a lot of times they don't see those movies. I don't understand what it is. And I mean, I get it. You see what you identify with, but I think it's time to change that. And so I'm here to help you. Now, hopefully you all have seen the social media. Well, okay, this week our social media was a little bit off because we advertised the wrong movie. But every week on this show, when we put out the word, who the guest is, that's also the clue of the movie that you should watch before you get here, because I want you all to jump into the conversation. Maybe some of you have seen this movie. If you have, say something in the comments and let us know. But that's the reason why I wanted to bring Monet Exchange on to talk about the Denzel Washington-led movie, which has a lot of really, really popular up-and-coming actors made 20 years ago. Remember the Titans.
So good. I love this movie growing up. I love this movie. Such a great film.
It's a great film. So in case you didn't see it, here is the trailer. 1, 2, 3, go.
You smiling. Why are you smiling?
Football's fun?
You think football is fun?
Yes, no.
No?
Certain, well, it was fun.
Not anymore, though, is it? Is it?
No, not by now.
No, it's not fun anymore. Not even a little bit.
Zero fun, sir.
All right.
Coach Boone's school board made the decision to put you on my staff. I did not hire you.
Well, I came up here to coach you. I didn't ask to be assigned to your staff, so I guess we're both in a situation we don't want to be in.
What? If they keep on playing like that, we'll lose every game.
But I can guarantee you this, Coach. I come to win. We will be perfect in every aspect of the game. Get up, boy, get up, get up, get up.
Still weak on the left side.
We're not weak on the left side.
It's not the problem.
What is the problem?
I don't need you up in my face all the time.
I don't care if you like each other or not, but you will respect each other. I want you to tell me something about one of your teammates.
I'm rooming with Blue, sir. He wears those leopard-spotted underwears, bikini style, sir.
Okay, maybe somebody who's not your roommate. Each one of you will spend time every day with a different teammate.
Does the term cruel and unusual punishment mean anything to you?
If you lose a game, they'll fire you.
One game, just like that.
Brother, don't you know me and your mama went out on the town last night. What did you say? What happened to you?
Man, I just gave your mama a piggyback ride and she weighs twice as much as I do.
What's going on?
We wanted to let you know we was gonna warm up a little different tonight.
We are the Tigers, mighty Tigers.
We're gonna let these people know who's gonna win state, right?
Right.
Right? Greek mythology, the Titans were greater even than the gods.
We're gonna change the way we run.
They ruled their universe with absolute power.
We're gonna change the way we block.
That football field out there tonight, that's our universe.
We're gonna change the way we win.
We don't let anything, nothing, come between us.
We are team.
So there you have it. That's the trailer for Remember the Titans. And I'm going to read you the synopsis. In Virginia, a high school football is a way of life. It's an institution revered. Each game celebrated more lavishly than Christmas. Each playoff distinguished more grandly than any national holiday. It is a major thing. And with such recognitions comes powerful emotions. In 1971, high school football was everything to the people of Alexandria, Virginia. But when the local school board was forced to integrate an all-black school with an all-white school, the very foundation of football's greatest tradition was put to the test. And there we have it. This is Remember the Titans. It is a real story. It's based on a true story. And when I say based on a story,
and you be finding out when they say based on, that means it was shot in Virginia and there was a black person there. It's like, well, girl.
That's true. And I remember watching Remember the Titans when it came out. And then I watched it now. Before I was like, I heard that it was a true story, and I think them saying that makes you want to see it more. You're like, ooh,
oh, yes,
yeah, it's like, ooh, and so that's what that is. But this time around, I watched it, and my opinion of it was a little bit different. But I was more interested in how accuracy it was or wasn't this time, and so I watched it, and then I immediately got on the internet and was like looking for, who were the characters, who really was Coach Boone. Who was, Russell, I can't remember the hippie guy that moved in. Like all the characters were actual characters or real people in real life. And you Google them and they come right up. We have another picture, but I don't know if we actually have it. I emailed it. I'm not quite sure if we got it, Mitch. I'll just show it on my phone.
What a great movie. Ooh,
and here's a picture of Coach Boone in real life, talking to Bertram, who gets, spoiler alert if you didn't see it, has an accident at the end. He's like the star of the football team, and he has an accident at the end. And here's a real life picture of him talking to them.
Oh wow!
Real life.
Oh, gag.
Yeah, and so they were all some real people. So what did you think? Like, this is can't be the first time you've seen this movie.
No. I remember seeing it as a kid. I remember seeing it. This is like my fourth or fifth time seeing it.
So the first time, like, what was the impact the first time you saw the movie?
The first time I saw the movie, I was in, I want to say, middle school about, and so, not saying I wasn't aware of race, and I'd say I wasn't aware of the power of racism that young. So watching as a kid, a lot of it went over my head, like how grave it was and how that was people's actual reality. And people were literally like busing and segregation, like how like it was that like that was a real thing for a lot of people. And that really went over my head as a kid. But like, of course now, especially in today's climate, watching it again, it's like, this is so real. But also we have come far, but how far we have not come since then in terms of racism and classism.
What? Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, because so for all of y'all who I hope watched the movie, if you here, you should have watched the movie to see how integrating the football team became this like boiling point in this film, and how you think of just getting an education and going to a good district and playing sports, how those things that seem so trivial, how they were so institutionalized and how they were so revered that just that mere action, it caused an entire town, an entire village of people to get really riled up and want to commit acts of violence. How they were trying to set Coach Boone's house on fire because he was giving these brown boys an equal and fair opportunity to play sports and to have the same opportunities as the white kids.
Yeah, I mean, I think the film itself, the story is such a compelling story, right? And I guess part of it is, like you said, it's because it's so real. Because it is real. It's very realistic, and it's a very clear, understandable way that we can see racism coming into an American pastime. I mean, football, football is American as apple pie, if apple pie is American. And it's just a really big a cornerstone of like modern day America, especially the patriarchy. Sports is like an important thing. It's the one way that's sanctioned and that people can make money on, that men can bond. It's the one thing that is allowed for like cis hetero men to like bond over. It's sports and not even politics.
Yeah.
And so I do think that like it's like the obvious choice when telling stories about race. When telling a story about race and segregation, there's all kinds of stuff. There's sports, there's obviously schools and education, there's jobs and employment, there's family life, there's a whole bunch of stories that they could tell. But this one was an obvious choice. So I think it's a great decision to make the film. I do think, and I'm sure you watched the movie Disclosure.
Yes.
So seeing the movie Disclosure, which deals primarily with transness, but also a little bit of race and class, I now have like a sort of a mark in my mind's calendar of like, oh, all of this stuff before Disclosure was like problematic. And then things that are made, I'm gonna have to touch on it, are usually, more, I mean, Disclosure just came out, but I think there's going to be a before and after, AD, before and after Christ, BC and AD, before Disclosure and after Disclosure. And I think that 2020 is one of those moments, like anything before 2020 when it comes to Black films might be seen as through a different lens after 2020, both from the people watching it and then also the people making it. And so I do think that the film was an important film to make. I wasn't in love with the storytelling. It felt so superficial to me. It was like scene by scene by scene. Like it felt like a TV movie. It felt like TV.
Well, it is a Disney movie, so I feel like we're also watching it through the Disney lens. Like, so I think they were trying to tell the story of segregation and racism and classism, but still keep it palatable for a Disney audience. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I do definitely agree with the surfaceness of it all, but I feel like that was the way that they felt they could tell the story, but moms in Little Rock, Arkansas, and in Tulsa, Oklahoma will want to watch it and let their kids watch it. You know what I mean? I feel like that's where the serviceness is coming from.
I think they probably achieved that too.
So,
you know,
definitely,
for sure. I mean, it was a hit, obviously.
Yeah.
And honey, I got to tell you, Denzel. I mean, like, look, obviously Denzel's a legend, and he's like super famous and won all these awards and everything, and been nominated.
Same role.
But watching this, I was reminded. I was like, this brother can act.
Yeah, he's a really good actor.
Yeah.
But also, every time he was acting, we all know like the Denzelisms in his acting, and I was like, some of this, I feel like I'm watching a little bit of Training Day. I feel like I'm watching a little bit of Fences. I felt like he was one line away from saying, "King Kong ain't got nothing on me." Like I was like, that's what happened in the next scene. But yeah, but Denzel is amazing, and his family, and oh my god, fucking okay, wait, can I curse? Sorry.
Yeah.
Freaking Hayden Panettiere. Look how
as that little bit. So it was. It's okay. Let's talk about the cast. It's an all-star cast there.
Yeah.
We obviously have Denzel Washington, Hayden Panettiere, Ryan Gosling as
Ryan Gosling, Noah from The Notebook.
Yeah. Okay, Ethan Suplee, who was the heavier set guy, the white guy, the heavier set white guy. He's notable from American History X. If anybody watched him, he was like. He played it. It's so funny. He's like in American History X, he plays like this like neo-Nazi racist, and in this he's like the white boy that's down with all the black boys, which I think is so. It was refreshing to see. You know, and he has he's actually gone through a little bit of a health change and tightened up a little bit. Happened to have lost a lot of weight, and so his appearance has changed a lot. And so if you see him now, you might not even recognize that it was him.
Yeah.
He was recently in, with something I saw, I couldn't even believe it. He was recently in, what was he? I have it here. I'm losing it. I don't see it in 3 seconds.
Well, a few years ago, he played the role of Eureka O'Hara on season 9 of Drag Race. I'm sorry.
Well, he's skinny now, and he was in the Hunt, the horror thriller movie that just came out earlier this summer called.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's in that.
Yeah, he's in that. You would never recognize him. That's what I'm trying to say. Do you like
scary movies, Pepp? Are you a horror movie?
I'm a horror movie whore.
Okay.
I will do anything for a horror movie to be in a horror movie. A special shout out to Nicole Ari Parker, who plays Becky Barnett in Boogie Nights. She plays Denzel's wife in this. She's not a big part, but she plays Denzel's wife in this, and she's fierce. Anyway,
can I tell you, as a young queer kid watching this, the one scene with the hippie kid and he kisses him. Can I tell you, as a kid watching it, I was like, oh my god, this is the part. Like, I remember watching that and like. Being scared that my parents would see me watching it and they'll be like, "What you watching?" But also living for that moment and watching it and like rewinding it a few times to see that such like little inkling of a little kind of queer gay moment. I was like obsessed with that little scene as a kid.
Yeah, it's an awesome movie. But okay, so back to this one. I think it was definitely a feel-good movie. This movie was like 1 inch from me not a black movie, because they do spend a lot of time in the white household.
They do.
But we decided to put it in because it's an undeniable sort of influence. And so do you think that it holds any relevance today? I was watching it and it feels so heavily about sports that I was curious or worried what your thoughts on, not worried, but curious what your thoughts on like how translatable is this to today? Because it really seems like it's just about sports.
Yeah. Well, I think that today, in terms of sports and racism in sports, and obviously we see black men, black women, they have dominated sports on
ever since that moment. That was it. They were right.
Moment.
They're like, you open it up, they're going to take it over. And honey, we have.
Well, did you know? I just found this out. Did you know that hockey was developed by a black man? A black man started hockey. Isn't that wild?
Ooh,
I
what?
know. I know.
Okay, Google. Who
Look it
invented
up.
hockey?
Here's a summary from Sports Illustrated. Conventional wisdom has posited Canada as the sport's birthplace, with the first game occurring in 1875, but Giddon, Hoda and Martel have discovered evidence the first games took place as far back as the 1790s.
In Africa. Okay.
I read it. I saw it on a special. But yeah, so in terms of sports, I feel like black and brown folks have kind of dominated sports. But you know, the relevance I see today is that we are still, and racism is, you know, it has so many dimensions and so many levels and so many different aspects of our lives. But I feel like in terms of sports, we still see black folk looking, because the players are black, but the people running, like behind the scenes, running the show are not black. They, you know what I mean? So I feel like in terms of that, there are some parallels still there. And you know, we see it now. We see I don't know if it's the NFL or it's the NBA. One of them, I just saw the story. So I might be screwing it up a little bit, but they're doing something that is very problematic going to the next season. Like they're not like supporting something for Black Lives Matter, something like that going to the next. So it's kind of like they did it for this moment, because it was kind of like if you didn't do it now, it's like
it was a done deal.
You know what I mean? So I feel like they did that to appease the black players, but now going forward, they're talking about.
They made a decision that they're not going to allow players to probably speak out and like protest during the game.
Yeah, there was something like that, and then now I think it's the NBA, so we're trying to see how the players are going to respond.
NBA?
Like that.
Oh, darn.
I know.
Well, how important is it? Because I think that these images are really important. How important is it that non-black folks see and engage in black art and see black movies, see and support black movies?
Listen, I am a very big proponent of not black people engaging in, well, not just engaging, actively engaging in black cinema, black TV shows, black custom traditions, because I feel like a big part of the reason why racism is able to live and fester and become so prevalent is because people who are not black and are not brown are not allowing themselves to have those experiences. People who find themselves to be homophobic and to be transphobic is because they don't know trans people, they don't know gay people, they don't allow themselves to cohabitate and coexist with those people that don't look like them and don't identify with their sexuality, orientation, XYZ, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. So I feel like engaging in more black culture and black people and black film and black TV shows. Watch Living Single. Watch Martin. Don't only watch Everybody Loves Raymond and Seinfeld and The Golden Girls. Mm-hmm. Watch so that you're not just getting. So yes, TV and film is a little bit surface, it's a little bit superficial, but however, you're still engaging in a lot of the black customs and traditions that you and I grew up watching on TV, and how how I learned about so much of my blackness watching Martin and watching Khadijah and Sinclair and Kyle talk about different things on Living Single. Things that I never would have known were part of the black diaspora. So I feel like that is the importance of not POC and not black people engaging in our culture and allowing themselves to experience it on a real level, and not just putting it on and having it as like background noise and fodder in the background, but actually watching the show and sometimes picking up your phone. Every answer to the universe. Oh, there! Look at me on my screensaver. Look how pretty she is. Woohoo! This is so vain and so ridiculous. But yeah, Martin says something about something that you understand. Look it up so that next time, you don't go around saying it if you're not supposed to, but you're also learning and seeing what it is they're talking about and allowing yourself to experience the culture.
I agree. You know, and to add on top of that, seeing black movies doesn't just mean mentioning that you've seen Friday. Like it has to be. You need to see 12 Years a Slave. You need to see, like some of the movies that have more serious confront your racism. Confront the racism of the racist past that we've all been brought up with. And really engage with that. And by the way, here's my screensaver.
Move it over, I can't see. Word. Stop that picture, Trinity. That is so rude.
Just to remind you, if you're watching right now, on our pre-show, we talked all about eyelash applicators, Cardi B and Candace Owens and Blexic and their fight, stoning jewelry, human hair wigs, which I don't even know how, and Manila's. I have never heard about this joke to Valentina from All Stars, so it's pretty much worth it right there. If you want to watch all those things, head over to my Patreon and watch that, and other exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and full episodes of Pepp Talks. Now it's time to work the runway and feature some skincare. And this is some new skincare I'm going to try. I haven't really tried it yet, but I'm going to unveil it now. This is your assistant, Patty, is obviously a close friend of mine and really, really loves Kate Somerville. That's Kate Somerville. And kind of turned me on to Kate Somerville. And so Kate Somerville has sent me 2 products. I have here Delicate, which is their new Restore and Recover, and then something else in French, serum. And then I have Goat Milk Cleanser. I don't know about that. I might put it on my cereal. You can't really see it. It's too, but this is it right here. This is the best way to see it without the glare. And so I'm going to try it. I'm going to sample it now, let you know how it feels. And then I'll update everybody on next week's show how much I liked it. So here it is. I'm unboxing now. Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh. And it's a glass bottle.
Oh, word.
Yeah, it's nice glass. She's and it's one of those droppers. I think that a lot of products these days really the dropper thing with the rubber tip. Do you know what I mean? Have you seen that a lot? Like not only skincare, but also some makeup things are now doing droplets with foundation. Have you experienced that? What are you looking at me like I'm crazy?
No, because it was frozen a little bit. Kimchi. Well, Kimchi doesn't have any of her skincare stuff, but some of her applicators are tincture thingies.
The drop.
Like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is the Delicate Recovery Serum. So this is something that I think you would put on at night. It says AM and PM apply 1 to 2 drops to cleansed skin. Follow with Delicate Recovery Cream, which I also have. So this is a whole system, but I think you can mix and match. I mean, don't tell anybody that I told you that I said that. And it looks like this, nice and milky. So it reminds us of a certain substance.
A certain substance that I will have an abundance of in the UK.
Yeah. I'm not gonna rub this all over my face right now. But I will rub it on my hand. Oh.
Oh yes.
Oh. That is nasty. Look at it. Kate, you nasty.
Nasty.
Oh, excuse me. Let me just rub it in.
Word. Yes, come on.
Oh, it feels good. Oh my God. It has no fragrance. This feels really smooth and silky. Mm. So that's, I want to know what goat's milk is like. Good grief. Okay, so here's the goat's milk here. You can't really see. There we go. That's a better thing. And let's see if this is a tube.
Okay.
Here. It's a tube called Goat Milk Moisturizing Cleanser. Now this is a cleanser, so you're obviously not going to rub it into your skin, but I'll show you. I don't want anything to squeeze out. Okay. Oh, I hate these things. Sorry.
I know,
don't use your teeth. Oh, doesn't taste that good.
Bitch,
but
it's all over
wonderful.
your lip. You got goat milk on your lip, girl.
I got goat milk on my lip. Okay. Oh. It's the goat's milk cleanser.
Now, let me tell you
Yeah.
something. I have had British trade that the consistency was like that. I said, you need to go to the doctor. You need to go to the doctor, bitch.
It's real nice.
That's not
It
normal.
smells really good though. This is some thick
go,
cleanser, y'all.
I was like, you gonna stop on my insides with that, girl.
What am I going to use to get this off my damn hand? Okay, I'll rub it on my legs. Ugh. Actually, I really do like, this is going to be a good cleanser because I like to do like 3 steps of a cleanser. Like I do a makeup remover first, which is, I like it to be oil-based, right? And that really helps get all of like, your like waterproof products and things like that off first. And then I'll go in with a gel-based cleanser, something that foams up, that's more like soapy. And so I do that next to like really, really, really clean my skin. And then I'll go in with a moisturizing cleanser like this goat's milk that's a cream, just to give it something nice. And I could definitely see using this in the morning as well, because I do gentle cleansers in the morning and then more at night. I use a face brush, or while I'm in Vancouver, I'm using a Buff Puff. I don't know if anybody remembers the Buff Puff. That was what your mama used to use, honey, to buff your skin. Anyway, so thank you so much to Kate Somerville.
You need to talk to your Black Queer Town Hall sister Bob about the skincare, because you know she just uses hotel lotion. She just hotel soap. She like every hotel she goes to, she takes the bar home and she just used that as her cleanse. I'm like, that is not good for you.
That is so harsh. It's not good for your skin. Girl. Let me tell you. Listen, I'm going to update everybody on the show next week about the Kate Somerville Goat's Milk Cleanser and the Delicate Recovery Serum, along with the cream, the recovery cream that we use every single. Hopefully next week I'll be glowing and shining. For my next guest, who comes on next week, will be Shangela, and we are talking about the film The Family That The Family That Prays.
That's a good one.
Yeah. A reminder: if you're just joining us, head over to my Patreon to see everything that you just missed. Now, if you want to be up to speed, hold up, let me go. If you want to be up to speed, watch the movie yourself this week. Watch The Family That Prays this week, so that you can be caught up and ready to be in the comments with me and Shangela next week. For now, that is the show. Thank you so much for watching Monet Exchange. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you so much. Congratulations on your, I don't know if I'll see you before you.
I better see you at least once.
I won't see you before you go to Britain, but I might be in Britain later on this year. So maybe I'll try to come over and at least see the show and visit you. But I'll definitely see you when you get back to New York City. Okay. I love you so much, girl.
I love you so much, Pepp. Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
Absolutely, honey. All right, y'all. Thanks.
The secret emoji is black.
Thank you so much for watching Black Movie Classics. Follow Monet Exchange on Monet Exchange at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and her YouTube. And follow me at Peppermint247. If you're watching this, you probably already follow me. Share it with your friends, please. We want to get more viewers on this show. So please share. Tell them that you love this show, even if you've never seen it. I just lost my ring. Love you so much. Thanks to Amped Accessories and next week.